Pairing, setting up for YouTube Live. Okay.
Serve it up till the whiskey run dry. You take your sugar and take your sweets. Leave you blinded on a one-way street. Tie your hands back, gonna hold your hands back. Serve it up till the whiskey run. Oh, let the whiskey run. Serve it up, yeah. Serve it up till the whiskey runs dry.
And welcome, everybody, Loonacy Podcast. My name is Tony. I'm here with Dave and Connor. Dave Stevens, Connor Ennis. I am Tony Pervenanzi. Is our World Cup predictions live stream. I think we're actually a little behind on the live stream, but from the Zoom to the live stream, so
I think
I'm
there's
not going to
normally a
watch
delay.
that delay on
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
yeah. So anywho, well, welcome everybody. Good to see everybody here, Connor, Dave. And
Yeah.
it's World Cup season. World Cup season, guys. It's the time of the year, or a time every 4 years. Everybody gets together across the globe, gets excited for kicking a ball into a net. Except for
Yeah.
some of yeah. So go ahead.
Go ahead.
So yeah, we're gonna do some predictions tonight. Connor has put together a prediction board. Did a lot of work on it, right, Connor? This took you like hours and hours and hours to get it done. Or he's not available right now. But Dave, you made your predictions already?
I did, and in fact, I made my predictions maybe 4 days ago as we're recording live here on Monday, June 1st. And so I've already kind of waffled in my mind a little bit, like maybe I should have picked that team or this team or have a different champion. And quite frankly, I might be adjusting my spreadsheet but for the sake of this show, I'm pretty confident in the picks that I made. If I do a little tweaking in the next week or two, so be it. But yeah, excited to get into this because I mean, quite frankly, the World Cup has been on my mind. I mean, basically for the last 4 years, but especially since Tony, we secured our tickets to a game in Kansas City on June 20th, Ecuador versus Curacao. So really, the excitement for me has been building up the last 8, 9 months, big time. So really, really excited to be here doing this show tonight.
Connor,
All right,
how
can you
long did you
guys hear me
spend on
now?
your? Yeah, you're good.
Gotcha.
Okay,
How long did you
cool.
spend on your boards, Connor? How long did you spend putting this shit together?
Oh, it's it's been a while. It's been a journey, but I've enjoyed every second of it. I love being the creative type, so it's awesome. I love it. I'm really excited for you guys to see it. So
All right.
yeah.
So, and we have one person who is not available tonight, our guest predictor, and who kind of let us know who that is.
Yeah, so if you guys follow Ope It's Mo Time on Instagram or TikTok, Chris Cannon was supposed to be our guest tonight, but unfortunately he has a sick kid. So all the best to him and his kids. I hope he gets better real soon. I did keep his picks up here just so we could just so we could see what another opinion is like, and then we'll go through his as well. But Chris, if you're listening, uh, just I hope your kid feels better soon, man. Yeah, it's sick kids suck. I know what it's like. So
That's
yeah.
true. That's true. It's a very busy week for everybody. For me personally, because my daughter graduates from high school on Wednesday, and then my youngest daughter has a soccer tournament next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday up in Blaine at the National Sports Center. So we got that going on, and then God, it's graduation time. It's craziness everybody's doing. And then in a couple weeks we'll be in KC, Dave. I mean, come on. I mean, this is just it's nuts. Every weekend now it's like something's going on. So
Busy time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I personally have, I think, what do I have? Three graduation parties that I need to attend this year, which I
hmm
think for the last couple of years I haven't had any to go to, or at least last year, I should say. So yeah, it's a busy time of year, no doubt about it.
hmm So uh I'm not drinking any beer tonight. I don't think we really need to get into what we're drinking, but you can tell us where you guys are if you're drinking beers, where you're drinking from. Dave, are you drinking something from a local?
Yeah, I am. So I'll just give a quick shout out for our YouTube viewers. I've got one of my favorites. This is from Indeed in Minneapolis. It's the pistachio cream ale. I don't need to say a whole
Mhm.
lot about this one because I've said a lot over the years about this particular beer because it is way up on my list as far as cream ales go. And just that pistachio note is just perfect for a cream ale, in my opinion. So yeah, this is a great one. So that's why I had to have it for this special World Cup edition of the Lunacy podcast.
All right. Very nice. Connor, you got anything you're drinking tonight?
Yeah, I'm drinking a little something local here too. 56 Brewing, the Lake Copper West Coast style IPA, and it's great. I love it. It is 6.5%, so a little higher than I like to usually drink for a Monday night, but it's awesome. It's a great hoppy beer, so I would highly recommend to those who like the dry bitter flavor. So yeah, 56 Brewing, Lake Hopper, West Coast style IPA. I think they're still live and kicking in Northeast over there. So, yeah, this is awesome.
Fantastic. All right, guys, well, let's get into it. There's no loons to talk about today because the loons are done. Everybody, MLS is all done for the next 2 months, I should
Hey,
say.
you know, we
Um,
we should shout out Carlos Harvey, who in one
mhm,
of the friendlies versus Panama friendly versus Brazil, actually, I believe it was, scored a
yes,
banger of a goal. Now, unfortunately, at that time when he scored, he made it 6-2 Panama, but still just fun to see him score on the international stage. So shout out Carlos Harvey.
yes, Carlos Harvey. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, we have this again. Connor put this all together, this World Cup board. I filled one out. Dave filled one out. Connor filled one out. Chris, our guest predictor, filled one out. I think some other people filled it out. We won't name names, but
Yep.
other people filled it out. So, um, yeah, let's hop into it.
Yeah, everybody. So let's get right in. Of course, the first group, we're going to move into Mexico's group right here. And it was supposed to be animated, but here are your predictions, everybody. Um,
hmm
So we've got Tony, you've got Mexico. Let's bring us through yours, actually. Mexico is you've got winning.
Mexico going, and then it's was that South Korea,
South
if I know
Korea,
correctly.
and then
Yeah. Who's the next
South
one there?
Africa, and then Czechia, it looks like.
Czechia. I'm not big with the flags, so I'm gonna have to
Gotcha.
pull my stuff
Yeah,
up here.
I
But
was gonna say I actually pulled up my sheet up so I can be looking at it here on my monitor as we're doing this, but I get it with the
I gotta pull
flags.
that up.
Some are
Yeah,
easier
I
than
gotta pull it
others,
up.
you know. See, I mean,
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Tony,
Yeah.
I mean, I my first thought that was Italy's flag up there. Wow, just kidding.
it's not. I don't want to talk about it, Dave. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to
Oh
talk
boy,
about it.
and that's the next group too. Bosnia is going to be the next group. Tony,
Mhm.
why Mexico?
Well, it's Mexico, dude. And this, I think this group is just up. It's theirs for the taking. I don't think there's anybody else in this group has a chance to tell you the honest God truth. I just don't. Like
Yeah,
they're playing a kind of co-hosts with everybody else. I think that of the three co-hosts, they have the best chance to advance further than Canada or the United States does, and they should just take this group easy. I don't
We
think there's
might
gonna be any
we
problems.
we might be able to argue about that later, but I don't obviously. I'll roll into mine. I don't disagree with you, Tony. I think for me the big thing is the hosting advantage. Mexico, along with Canada and the U.S., of course, are hosting this World Cup, and so that's going to be a huge advantage. I believe Mexico is playing all their group stage games in Mexico, just like the U.S. is playing all their group stages in the United States. I could be wrong on that. I have not looked at Mexico's schedule specifically, but I think that is the case. So that's a huge advantage, obviously, for any country. And then we know for as long as we've been following international soccer, Mexico has been as good, if not better, than the United States have on the international stage. There's just not much argument in that. So yeah, I think they're a very strong team. You know, it's one of those group, and I have them winning the group, but it is one. I gotta admit, it's one of those teams I wasn't super confident in, but geez, with the hosting, the fact that they're hosting, that just pushed it way over the top for me. So I think, yeah, I think Mexico is the clear winner in this group.
Yeah. Yeah,
Definitely.
no, I agree with you, Dave. I'm right there with you. Mexico hosting is going to play a big, and in front of their home crowd, those Mexico fans are rowdy. That's going to definitely play into the game, and it's going to be intimidating for the other teams. I do think South Korea has an outside chance, but I think that the odds are on Mexico. And
Yeah, that's
of course, I want to give a shout out to the first match of the year, Mexico and South Africa, which coincidentally was the first match of the World Cup when it was in South Africa back
ah,
in 2010. So here we are full circle once again.
I'm curious. I'd be curious as to why, Chris picked South Korea finished last. We unfortunately can't have his thoughts, but I
Right.
definitely, after, in my opinion, like we agree, it looks like those are our first two. And then, okay, then we have some differences in who's going to finish third and fourth. And I think that's, quite frankly, to be fair, Chechnya, South Africa, Bongi didn't make the South African team this year. So that's why I wasn't too confident in that
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Maybe if
You know,
Bongi
I didn't even factor
made
that
the squad,
in.
I would have
Mhm.
pushed them up a spot or two, and maybe even had them given them a chance to advance. We'll talk about our third place. We should talk about that third place format maybe when we get there, and the difference in this year's World Cup, this edition, with 48 teams starting this tournament as opposed to 32. So
Right.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, Ope, or Chris, as it were. I'm calling him Ope because that's the channel. But Mexico, Czechia coming second, which I can see happening. Czechia is a decent team. But yeah, South Korea coming last is a bold pick in my opinion.
Hmm.
So hats off to Chris for making a bold pick. Let's move into Group
Hmm.
B, everybody. We're gonna move in. Oh, here we go. We're gonna get the animations here,
okay,
everybody.
perfect, perfect.
All right.
Yeah.
So Tony, we're going to start with you first. Your winner is
Yep.
Switzerland
Right.
right here. And then you've got Canada coming second,
Hmm.
Bosnia in third, and then Qatar finishing last. Bring us through it here.
Hmm. Well, I mean, it's Switzerland. They're one of the top teams in FIFA right now.
Mhm.
I don't know their ranking, but they're pretty highly ranked. I think Canada has a decent shot to get second place here, just because, again, hosting, gonna have some games at home. Bosnia, they should be okay, but you know, they're kind of outside looking in. And Qatar is here because what? They basically got a invite because they did the last year's, I think, wasn't it? Did
No,
they
no, they
even
they they
did they
qualified.
do a
They
tournament? They
qualified fair and square.
qualified?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, they
They
qualified.
qualified fair and
Okay.
square. A lot of people didn't expect them to be in this World Cup, but here they are. And they actually, I think they won the last Asian Cup, actually. So
Okay.
so they've actually become quite the Asian powerhouse. But
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, they're here. Well, yeah, good stuff, Dave. Should we go into yours?
Sure.
And I will say it's pretty uniform. We've got Switzerland topping here again with Canada in second, Bosnia, and then Qatar once again. It's pretty
Yeah.
popular opinion at this point.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I mean, I kind of this is actually, I mean, I felt like most of the groups for me were not that hard to pick, actually. At least the first two
Mhm.
spots in the group. They weren't that hard.
Mhm.
This one is probably the one of the two or three that I struggled with the most because we just talked about, what the advantage that Mexico has for co-hosting the tournament. Well, Canada obviously has that advantage as well, and that's really significant. So this was tough for me. I wasn't sure. I almost put Canada first to win this group. Honestly, I haven't looked at the odds, but that would not surprise me in the least if Canada won their group. I think one of the bets you can make, and not in Minnesota, but one of the bets you can make is a combination of USA winning their group, Mexico winning their group, and Canada winning their group. You get pretty decent odds to do that. Obviously, you need to pick three group winners, so it's not an easy bet to make, but I definitely could see that happening this year. So I did struggle this, and I almost had Canada first winning the group. Maybe I swapped it a couple times, waffled a bit, but I think Switzerland, they have a pretty strong history of doing well in major tournaments. At least, not, making semifinals, finals, but they have a strong history of at least advancing. doing fairly well in tournaments. They're going to field a strong team. So that's why I went with Switzerland. I think I have a little bias towards, outside of the United States, I have bias towards, European clubs as opposed to the other continents. So I think that's why I went
Yeah.
Switzerland one, Canada two, and then, you know, yeah, like Tony said, again, you could flip flop three and four for me pretty easily, but I just went with Bosnia.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I think, I mean, those are my picks too. I got Switzerland, Canada, Bosnia, and Qatar as well. And I picked Canada because they actually did pick a former loon on there with Tani Oluwase and Dane St. Clair on the squad over Bosnia. Because I mean, I honestly think you could flip-flop Bosnia and Canada, but I think with Canada being at home, therefore fans are going to be out in full force. And like I said, I mean, I really think that fan atmosphere is going to play a really decent part for the hosts. So Switzerland, I think, just has too much talent for Canada to beat them, and but then Canada will come second, Bosnia third, and then Qatar. I mean, I just don't think they have the talent to be able to beat any of these teams. I think they come out of this room with 0 points.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and then we'll
th-
move it.
I had to kind of throw one more thing in there because I don't know if you guys saw this, but it was like his nickname. I'm gonna just I don't even know if I could. I'm trying to find his name, but yeah, there was the Milwaukee Messi who at least help Bosnia and Herzegovina qualify. And I'm gonna just butcher this pronunciation, so I'm not even gonna try. It starts with a Vevek or something like that. But I watched their qualification process, and like he scored the winning goal to advance them into the World Cup. I don't know if he even made the World Cup roster though. It doesn't look like it. Could be wrong on that, but yes, he did. He
Tony is
plays
being
for.
like, you don't have to bring that up right now because it was it was Italy who they
Oh, was that the
yeah
match against Italy? Maybe it
yep
was. Yeah, he's
yep.
plays for PSV Eindhoven, and yes, he did. He is on the World Cup squad. Sorry,
Hmm. Thanks. Appreciate
sorry,
it.
Tony. Sorry, Tony.
Move on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
All right. Well, we've got Chris did the same thing. We got Switzerland,
Mhm.
Canada, Bosnia, and
Yeah.
Qatar. It's
Great
pretty
chalk.
routine picks. Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's move on to Group C. We've got Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland now. So let's see what we got here. Tony, Brazil winning the group. Morocco coming second with Scotland and third, and Haiti coming dead last. What you
It's
got?
it's Brazil's group. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Brazil's group. I mean, they're gonna take this group. Um, Scotland, Morocco probably could. I'm kind of like Scotland this year, but then again, you never know with the Scots. I think Morocco's good in second place. Haiti, I don't think they're going to go anywhere. So it's a group where you got one pretty prime team that I think is going to dominate the whole group, and yeah, everybody else kind of falls into place.
Mm. Yeah, and I agree with you, Tony. And Dave, we'll go into your picks now. Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti as well. Is it about the same for you?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Brazil is just a class above these teams. I mean, to be quite frank, maybe I could see Brazil finishing second behind, Morocco. Now, technically, they're AFCON champions. They're African champions. Now, it was Senegal that won the game, but go
Hmm.
back and check out that video
That's
of what happened.
yeah,
That one.
it
The
was
legality of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Morocco was given the championship in that sense. But my point is though, Morocco is no slouch. They're one
Mhm.
of, if not the best, one of, if not the best teams in Africa. And so but still, then you look at Scotland and Haiti, you definitely can say that they're a step below. Brazil, maybe it's not the best Brazilian team we've seen in the last 20 years, but they're still Brazil. They still have got superstars, world
Hmm.
class players. Yeah, I think I agree with Tony's comments. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's mine. Mine are a little different from you guys. I've got Brazil winning it because, like you guys said, I think it's Brazil's group to lose. I think they just have too much talent to be able to be beaten by anybody else. But I've got Scotland coming second. I don't think
Ooh.
I think that Scotland is a lot better than a lot of people think they are. I think they're led by
Hmm.
Scott McTominay, and they won their group to be able
Hmm.
to over Denmark. By the way, they over
Hmm.
Denmark, the powerhouse of Denmark, and
Yeah.
so I think that I think they're going to come. It's their first World Cup since 1998. They're going to come in wanting to make a statement. So I think that they come in, and I believe they face Haiti in the first in the on their
Mhm.
first game. So that is the exact right game for them to come out and make a statement here. Morocco third, and then of course Haiti last. Congrats to Haiti on making their first. I don't know if it's their first ever World Cup actually, but I, you know, I just I don't think that they're gonna do much this year. And maybe they'll surprise everyone. I don't know, but I think, and that actually leads me into Chris's picks because Chris picked Haiti to surprise everybody.
Wow.
And
Oh, mm,
and they're gonna be in second place over Morocco and Scotland coming in
That's
last.
mm.
that would be a stunner. That would be a stunner.
I
But
Yeah,
hey,
Cinderella story.
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
always upsets. There
Hmm.
usually is. I just, by the way, Connor, you're right. It is Haiti and Scotland to kick off the tournament, I believe, I just saw it on
I think it's the
Saturday.
13th.
Yeah, Saturday, June
Yeah.
13th. That is correct. The only one thing I do want to throw out about Morocco, because it's easy to forget because the last edition of the World Cup was 4 years ago. A lot has happened since then. But remember, Morocco made it to the semis in
Yeah.
2020 in Qatar. So yeah,
Hmm.
just
The
Hmm.
one
furthest
little
any the
feather in Morocco's cap.
Yeah,
Hmm.
further than any other African team has ever gone, Morocco.
Right.
So, and they've still
Hmm.
got tons of talent. Hakim Ziyech is leading the team, and they've got other, El Nasiri. En Nasiri, I think, is a good striker for them. He'll get lots of goals. So I think it'll be, Morocco is a dark horse. I think they could make a run at it again.
Hmm.
But now here's the group where we are all invested. Group D. We've got the US,
Hmm.
our own USA with Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. And Tony, we're going to start with you again. You picked Paraguay to win this one.
Did.
And then USA coming
Hmm.
second. You've got Australia in third and Turkey in last. Take us through it.
Yeah. I don't trust USA at all. I'm sorry. Like, I love Team USA. I do. But on the world stage, it seems like we screw ourselves. And I
Mhm.
can see this happening in this group stage. I can see us losing to a team like Australia and basically, putting ourselves out of the first place and in Paraguay just coming in running the table or some of that nature happening, something stupid happening with Team USA where we play second. I just don't see us being first. And from first, I'll be happy about it, but that's just how
Mhm.
I see it. Um,
Yeah.
I'd love to see Australia go forward. I mean, I'm big in Australia and New Zealand. I don't know. I just want to see some of those teams from the Asia Pacific that down region down there make it further. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's it.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Tony. I think that's USA, you get two different teams of you with USA. You get the team that can't do anything wrong, and then you get the team that can't do anything right. So
Hmm.
so it could be that very well could be the case for USA. Dave, you picked USA to win with Paraguay coming second, Turkey coming third, and Australia in the final place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not 100% confident in that order, 1 through 4, but I do think, going back to, the USA is hosting. They haven't done so since 1994. I think that is, we can't undervalue that at all. I mean, it's a huge deal to be hosting. I mean, the pressure is going to be ramped up. There's no doubt about it, so you do worry. And of course, Tony's probably thinking about Copa America 2 years ago. They crashed out of that tournament, did not do well,
Hmm.
even though, some of those games you can argue they got the ref screwed them, something like that. But
Yeah,
especially against
yeah.
Uruguay. But yeah, so
Hmm.
that last taste in a major international competition from the U.S. was not great. Even though 2022 World Cup was not bad, that Copa America that was supposed to like build towards the
Hmm.
World Cup on home soil, it was not a building block at all. However, again, I still think that this is probably not in our lifetimes, obviously, but over the last 20 years or so, this is probably the best looking group that the USA has ever been in. They are the top team. That has never been the case in the last 20
Hmm.
years, not since 1994. So I think, and no disrespect to any of these teams like Paraguay or Turkey, even Australia, no disrespect. I think any team in this group is capable of winning. I really believe that. I just feel like with USA playing on home soil, they're gonna come out on top. I'm an optimist and a USA fan as well. So I could see a scenario where USA wins every match they play in this group and wins the group easily with 9 points. However, I could see some draws in there to any of those teams. I could see a draw in any of those teams, honestly. Turkey, is going to be a strong opponent for the USA to finish their group stage with, and quite frankly, Paraguay finished second in CONMEBOL qualification. They are a strong team out of South America, so this is not an easy group. I just feel like with the USA hosting, they're going to take care of business. And I will say, as we're recording this, on June 1st, it was just yesterday that we watched the USA beat Senegal in a friendly. Now there were some key players missing from Senegal due to their European club commitments and but they had some good players. They're a good team, and the USA, a few of their players were left out of the starting lineup, and the USA looked good, quite frankly. I think just to have Pulisic end his scoreless drought was huge for his confidence heading into the World Cup, and I just the USA looked really good to me against
Yeah.
Senegal. So that helps me. I made this prediction a week before that game or a few days before that game, but that kind of helps me with my
Yeah.
confidence.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, mine were the same. You have, well, not quite the same. USA is winning, but then I've got Turkey coming second. Then you have Paraguay in third and Australia in last. But I'm with you guys. I think that literally any one of these teams could win this group. It was a tough group to predict. Uh,
Mhm.
I also picked these before the Senegal game, but that game did give me a little bit of confidence, especially for the first 20, 30 minutes of that game. I think the US just looked unstoppable with Pulisic and Pepe you know, who scored, was it Pepe who scored the first goal? I forget.
Yeah,
Because I
I
know
believe
Pulisic got the
it
second
was
one.
it was is Pepe scoring and Pulisic had the assist, and then it was
Right.
kind of swapped around for the second goal. So,
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, I think it's I mean,
and we
the US to be able to beat Senegal, a power, and Senegal's no slouch, as David so eloquently said on our text chain. But
Mhm.
uh, you know, Senegal was, they mentioned on the broadcast that Senegal was missing a few players, but they still had a very capable team. And so to be able to beat them while switching out basically our entire team at halftime is a pretty good achievement in my opinion. So that gave me
Mhm.
confidence as
Yeah, and
well.
so I don't want to interrupt your breakdown there. So, but just real
Yeah.
quick, I want to say that is kind of what I'm talking about. Like if that game was played in Senegal, I think maybe the outcome could have been considerably different. I just think you
Yeah.
see the boost with the obviously pro USA crowd, and I think
Mhm.
that's what I'm counting on, and that's why I'm predicting USA to come out on top.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, we'll go through Chris's really quick. Chris picked the USA to win as well, with Paraguay coming second, Turkey in third, and Australia in last.
Mhm.
You know what? No disrespect to the Socceroos. I think that they are a very capable team. They made it through to the round of 16 in the last World Cup by beating a team like Denmark as well. So
Yeah,
they
that's right.
definitely have what it takes. I just think
Mhm.
that in this particular World Cup, they will be the one that draws the short straw. Um,
What?
Moving on to Group E, and Johnny, if you're watching, this is your group here. So. Tony, we've got Germany, Curacao, Ireland, or not Ireland, and Ivory Coast, and Ecuador. So you have Germany winning this one, Ecuador in second, and then you have Curacao in third, and Ivory Coast in last.
Mhm. Well, this is our group. This is the group that we got drawn into when we won our seats almost over a year ago. Dave, was it like a
Yeah.
year ago when we won the
Well,
freaking
Zoct,
seats?
technically, I knew I won an opportunity by Group E games in Kansas City back in October.
So it's been a while. So we're watching the draw, of course. We're like, okay, Group B, who's gonna get? When we saw Germany, we're like, oh, sweet, Germany. And then we found out we're seeing Ecuador versus Curacao instead of Germany versus Ivory
Mm,
Coast, but that's here nor there. So Germany, of course, is the prime team in this group. They're easy. Ecuador, I think, is again Ecuador and Curacao. I think 2-3. It's interchangeable. Ivory Coast, I'm not too like I don't know. I haven't watched any of their games or matches, so I'm not too sure about them. But I don't think they're gonna do anything in this one. Um, I truly believe the winner of the game that we see, Dave, you, me, and Johnny see, the Ecuador and Curacao game, I think that will be the team that places second, the winner of that game, that match. So, yeah.
All right. Well, Dave, let's get into yours.
Sure.
Germany coming in Germany coming in and winning the group as well. You've got Ecuador in second, Ivory Coast in third, and then Curacao in last.
Yeah, and real quick, I think I made a mistake. I said Paraguay in the U.S. Group D was second in CONMEBOL qualification. I was wrong. No, Ecuador finished second in CONMEBOL qualification. So it's Ecuador.
Mhm.
So they are a strong
Yeah.
team, a good team, and that's why I'm excited. I obviously was hoping like, to see Germany, like Tony was saying, but Ecuador is going to be a good team, a good watch. There's no doubt about it. So that's why I have
Mhm.
them finishing second in the group. I think Germany's, kind of on the up and up. I'm not, you know, spoiler, I'm not necessarily predicting them to go super far in this tournament, but I think they are, what was it, the last two World Cups, they didn't advance out of the group stage. Um,
Right.
Yeah.
obviously I'm predicting them to finish first in the group and advancing. So I think Germany will. I'd be shocked if they didn't finish first or second, probably first, but I could see them. The problem is it's hard to see Germany slipping in my opinion, against Ivory Coast or Curacao. So I just don't see a scenario where they're below that two line. No, Ecuador, maybe Ecuador slips into first place, but and then is
Mhm.
and my only difference here is Curacao. I mean, they're the smallest country by both land area and population. I would be surprised if Curacao wins a match, quite frankly. But again, congratulations to getting to the World Cup for the first time in their history, without a doubt. And
Mhm.
Ivory
Mhm.
Coast, I agree, Tony. I have not honestly watched a single match of theirs in the last 4 years cycle. So I really don't know a lot about Ivory Coast. I just know that they're, a strong, an African nation and that probably has a little more, their strength of competition is a lot higher than certainly Curaçao's is. So
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, mine, I also picked Germany, Ecuador, Ivory Coast, and Curacao.
Mhm.
Again, hats off for Curacao making it to the World Cup. Their first ever, I think it's for sure their first ever
Mhm.
World Cup. And
Mhm.
so well done to them. It's great to see them here, and I would love nothing more for them to surprise everybody and make it through to the round of 32. But I have them coming last. I don't think that I think the other teams just have too much talent to be able to at least lose to them. Maybe Curacao could pick up a draw against the Ivory Coast or even Ecuador, but I think Germany's gonna win the game with at least gonna win the group with at least 7 points. Surprise everybody and make it.
Sorry about
Okay. Uh, we got Ecuador we got Ecuador in second place. They are, I think they're a dark horse to go far. They have a lot of talent on their team. As you said, Dave, they came second in common ball qualification. So I can see them going. I can see them going far, possibly. I'll have to go. We'll get into that in the knockout stages, of course. But we'll yeah, that's my group B. Then we got Chris's. We've got Germany, Ecuador, Curacao in third, and Ivory Coast coming last.
Mhm.
So another one, another hopeful on Curacao right there. Well done, Chris. That's a
Mhm.
very bold pick.
Mhm.
But now let's move into Group F. We've got the Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia. We've got Tony. You've got the Netherlands winning it with Sweden in second and Japan in third and Tunisia coming last. Let's bring it through it.
Well, I think the Netherlands are, should take this group, although we've seen them, have some issues in the past. Um, the Swedes in second place. I like the Swedes. I'm part Finnish, Swedes, Norwegians. We all kind of, hang out together. So, and the Finns aren't in it this year, so I have to pick the Swedes and Norway too. Japan, I think, has a good shot. I've watched some Japan matches, and they look very talented. They have some good players on their squad. So really, I think they could get into second place and maybe even surprise the group and get in first. I think they have that talent. Tunisia, I'm going to say no, they're not going anywhere. So
Yeah.
that's mine.
Yeah. All right, Dave, you've got the Netherlands winning the group as well, and then Sweden, Japan, and Tunisia as well.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't need to add too much because Tony did really well of expressing my thoughts I've always been, I shouldn't say always, but for at least the last 15 years or so, I've been kind of a big Netherlands follower. I've made many, many trips to the Netherlands over the last 20 plus years. And so I've kind of latched
Mm,
onto them as one of the teams that I find myself rooting for. So, and that they've always been strong. Now they've had some key injury, at least a key injury, not, I wouldn't say key, maybe not their starting lineup. Tottenham, Xavi Simmons from Tottenham, he's out, but he was questionable to even start in this in Netherlands lineup, so I don't think it'll be a big deal. Japan also had a big injury with Mitoma, he tore his
That's right.
hamstring. Brighton,
mm-hmm.
so yeah, that's a big loss for them. That is obviously a starter for Japan, and so that's why maybe have them in third place. And Sweden, yeah, quite frankly, I have not watched a lot of Sweden recently, but they're always strong again. They're kind of like Switzerland. Switzerland, they're always a strong European team. So I'm pretty
Yeah.
confident with that prediction.
All
Dave, do you
right.
want to
Yeah.
give us some tips about the Netherlands? How when you went there, some stories of what you've done there, maybe?
No, no, no,
Some.
no. We don't have enough time for
Oh,
that. So
oh, okay,
stay out of
okay.
the
Oh,
canals. That's the only thing I'll
A
say.
next, a next, maybe next time. Yes, maybe next
the
time.
next time when we're not on video, maybe. I don't know.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Um, all right, we've got so I went a little bit of a different route. We've got Netherlands winning the group, of course. I think that they are again, it's their group to lose. I picked Japan in second. I think they have the talent to be able to come into second and maybe even
Mm-hmm,
win the group. They won the group
mm-hmm,
last World Cup over Spain, over Germany. So they definitely have the talent. It's a different World Cup, obviously, but I think that Japan comes second. I think the Netherlands are, based on what they did in the Euros, Netherlands just have too much talent on that team, like through some young faces and some veterans like Memphis Depay. So I think that the Netherlands win Group F, Japan second. I think the Swedes come third because I think Sweden is overhyped. I think that they have lots of talent, but I don't. But they had to make it through the European qualifiers, of course. So I think that they got lucky to get through to get through to the qualifiers. It definitely took me by surprise that they did, but maybe they'll make it through on one of the third place spots. So I guess we'll see on that. And then of course Tunisia, last place. I'm with you guys. I think Tunisia, they're an African powerhouse. They're basically in the World Cup every time. But once they get to the
mm-hmm.
World Cup, they don't go any further than the group stage. I mean, I don't think this year is going to be any different. Then you've got Chris's picks, where we've got the Netherlands, Sweden coming in second, and then Japan in third, and Tunisia. Well, looks like I'm the odd
And
man out
well,
in that one.
and
Fine.
Connor, to be fair, I wouldn't be shocked if this group was totally scrambled up based on our predictions.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
I think as far as Sweden's concerned, I mean, I've been watching a lot of Victor Gokers a lot lately. A lot of people have, with Arsenal making all the way to the Champions League final, unfortunately losing for.
yeah,
I mean, they've got a couple stars in Alexander Isak from Liverpool. They've got a couple stars. I mean, but again, this my point was I wouldn't be surprised if this group is scrambled up and our predictions are way off. And I wouldn't be stunned if Netherlands doesn't win the group, even though I'm projecting them to. And I don't think it's wish casting, but again, this could be a scramble group for sure.
for sure, definitely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we now move into Group G, the group of Michael Boxall. We've got Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand, the Kiwis in this group.
mm-hmm.
So, Tony, we start with you once again. We've got Belgium winning the group and New Zealand coming in
Mm-hmm.
second. Then
That's
you've
right.
got Egypt in third and Iran coming last.
Well, let me just tell you, Belgium, of course, is the top of this group. I think they win this group, but I'm going with New Zealand, the Kiwis, because frankly, I'm a homer and I want to see Boxy get into the knockout stage. I want to see him playing. I want to see some Loons fans talk about heading to a knockout stage match to see freaking Michael Boxall play in the World Cup. And this is going to be his last World Cup. He's not playing anymore. This is his last shot. So this is again, this is me being a homer, thinking they're going to win. at least place second. Iran is an interesting story, and everybody knows what's going on with Iran with the whole, you know, President Trump and the not coming here and don't come here. Yes, you can come here. Don't come here. Now you're gonna have your spot. You're gonna be in Mexico to do your training. I mean, all that stuff. It's just got to wear on these people, on their whole
Yeah.
team. It's just gonna wear on them that you have all this other extraneous shit going on other than soccer to deal with. And I think they're just gonna like. I think they're just gonna be tired, and I think they're just gonna, and I hope they do well. I really do. I'd love to cheer them on, but there's a lot of things going on. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's about
I
it.
can see that. I can see that. Dave, we've got Belgium winning for you as well, and then we've got Egypt coming second, and then New Zealand in third, and Iran coming last.
Yeah, I'll keep it short. Tony summed a lot of that up. Belgium, they're not the golden generation, maybe like they were, I guess, 10 years ago or 10, 15 years ago, but they're still a super ultra talented team with obviously Kevin De Bruyne leading the way. Egypt, I think I'm just rooting for, I'd like to see Salah do well, advance
Hmm.
deeper into the tournament, and have a good World Cup. New Zealand, yeah, Boxy. I'll be rooting for New Zealand and probably every one of their matches in this group, whether they win or not, just because I want to see Boxel do well, of course. And then yeah, Iran, it's tough. It's tough. I'm glad to see that they're going to participate. Obviously, there's a lot of doubt in that, as Tony alluded to. And it's going to be tough because they announced that their home base is going to be in Mexico, and they're going to have to travel up to LA, I believe, and maybe Seattle for every one of their matches. So that just adds, you're going to be traveling, flying anywhere, even if your base is, say, in Kansas City, like it is for Argentina and a couple other clubs. You're still going to have to travel, but I don't know. You're literally, going through customs and, staying in another country, and all your group stage matches are in the USA. So that's just an added difficulty. I'm just glad Iran is here in the World Cup. Unfortunately, yeah, it's going to be tough.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree with all that. And of course, I made these picks long before, I mean, long before now when I didn't really think about what was going on in Iran, of course. And so I've got Belgium, and then I've got Iran coming second, and which I would love to see happen for sure. Then you got Egypt in third and New Zealand in fourth, unfortunately. Sorry, Michael. Sorry, Boxy. I can't see it happening with this group. Um, Iran, I think they've got the talent to be able to do well. And I think that, but I think that based on them having their camp in Mexico and having to go through customs for every single game, they're coming back across the borders, back to U.S., back to Mexico, to the U.S., back to Mexico. I can only hope they get to play a knockout stage game in Mexico, maybe, but uh, you know. I think that based on the names that you see on the roster, Iran is just a better team than the other two. Than the other two. You've
Hmm.
got. I just think, and I think they're ranked like 17 in the world right now.
Yeah, pretty high.
Above, yeah, above Egypt and New Zealand. So hopefully, you know what? I hope they come in and with a lot of motivation and try to make a statement. And then I don't see them beating Belgium, but I think I can see them beating Egypt and New Zealand. Um,
I try to say one more thing about Iran, guys, or
mm,
Iran, is that my hope, and I think this is going to happen when they play their first match on U.S. soil. I think you're going to hear the crowd cheering for them very loudly because I think there's a
mm,
lot of people, a lot of soccer fans in the United States who are going to be like, they've gone through the shit. They need us to support them. And I think you're going to see a big, like, yay, people are going to be behind them. And hopefully that they
100%.
kind of grow off of that.
yeah,
I know there's some people on the other political side of the spectrum, the crazy people who are going to say, I'm going to boo the shit out of them when they're here, blah, blah. It's not about that. It's
Yeah,
not about that.
yeah, Tony.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
think that I can't speak for everyone, but I mean, I think this is not about the Iranian people. This is that the war right now has nothing to do with the Iranian people, and they're. I think I would. Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's going to be massive applause and celebration. From
Mhm.
hopefully everybody or most people in the stadium for sure.
yeah. Well, they're playing. You mentioned they're playing in LA and Seattle as well. Two cities that would definitely be mostly. mostly fans who would support the Iranian national team if they were to come to that city. So I think that you
Yep.
could see, I think you could see that support behind them with the fans, and uh, I personally hope that happens too. I think that's a nice dream, Tony. So and that and maybe not even a dream. It's a very
Wow.
realistic dream, you know.
Oh yeah.
Um, Chris picked Belgium to win as well. And then you have Egypt coming second, with New Zealand in third, and Iran coming last.
Oh,
Mhm.
Yep, you and Chris,
hmm.
great minds.
All
Dave,
right. We'll see.
Mhm.
all right,
We'll see if we're
Mhm.
saying that in about 4 weeks, but
right. All right, we're gonna move on to Group H, where we've got Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Tony, we've got Spain winning the whole thing, winning the group. Then you've got Uruguay in second, Cape Verde in third, and Saudi Arabia coming last.
Yeah, and I keep saying this, that Spain is, top team. I think they're gonna blow this group away. Um, Uruguay, you know what, guys? I mean, Uruguay, Cape Verde, and Saudi Arabia. Between those three, I could go 2, 3, 4 and mix them up. For all I really know about them. I just kind of stuck Uruguay in there at second because I kind of know them a little bit. I've watched them a little bit. The other two teams I have not, so that's kind of where I went.
Mhm. All right, and Dave, we've got Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Cape Verde in last.
yeah, so this is one of those groups that picking number one was prob if not the easiest, one of the easiest groups for me, Spain. They're obviously one of the favorites to win the whole World Cup. So that was easy. And then quite frankly, Uruguay, they're a very quality team coming from, South America. And then I think 3, 4 for me are a coin flip. Both of these teams are long shots to say the least. I think they have the same odds. Yes, they do have the same odds of winning the World Cup. Obviously, we know that would be an extremely unlikely situation, but they have the same odds of winning. And so if that was basically a coin flip for me.
Mm. Well, yeah, I think I went with your predictions, Dave. We got Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Cape Verde as well. Like you said, Spain is a pretty runaway pick for this group. Uruguay is a shoe-in for second for me. I think that those two teams are going to be one and two no matter what. Spain most likely number one, and then of course Saudi Arabia. I just think they have more experience in the World Cup than Cape Verde has. They've been in many World Cups before. And the last World Cup, they didn't get far, but they made a statement by beating Argentina right out the gates. So I think that they have the potential to be able to maybe surprise a few people. Cape Verde, I would love to see them do well, but it's their first ever World Cup, and I think they're going to be swept away by the awe of it all and distracted. So I yeah, sorry, Cape Verde. I just think that it's going to be too much to handle. Maybe in a couple World Cups, you'll be able to make some progress out of it. But congratulations to them for making this World Cup, of course. And then you've got Chris's pick: Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Cape Verde again here. All right, we're gonna move on to Group I: France, Senegal, Iraq, and Norway. Uh, Tony, we've got France winning the whole thing, Norway in second, and then Senegal in third, and Iraq in last.
It's France again, top of the group. Although Norway, uh, you can't you can't look behind away from those guys. Those guys could come on strong. They got a good team. Uh, Norwegians with our friend Nels is Norwegian, so if they were to win the group, I think Nels would be happy. But I think France is going to take it away. Senegal, from what I saw, some of the highlights from the match with the U.S. Was it yesterday? Um, yeah, I think going third place would be good for them. And then Iraq is, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Iraq, so
Mm.
that's mine.
Then you've got Dave's picks. You got France, Senegal coming in second, and then you've got Norway in third and Iraq coming last.
Yeah, looking back at this now, I mean, it might have, again, France is, one tie. I think right now France and Spain are kind of tied as the highest odds of winning the whole thing, the World Cup that is. So France for me is an easy pick. But then looking at this group, this is a really really good group with Norway and Senegal. I mean, with Norway, maybe 2-3 for me is a coin flip because with Norway, you can't. I'm just so happy to see Erling Haaland in the World
Hmm.
Cup, number one. I mean that, and his numbers are undeniable. I heard it, I think during the broadcast of the USA match yesterday. I think and don't quote me on this, but it's in the ballpark. I think he scored 55 goals in 48 international competition matches, something like that. Basically, his stats are absurd. So he is going to be a force in this group. There is no doubt about it. I mean, so he could challenge France. There's just no doubt about it. But
Yeah.
Senegal, they are, I don't know, they technically won the game to be, African champions. And so
Mhm.
Senegal did not have their strongest lineup, against the USA. They had a good lineup, most of their players, but Senegal's tough. That African champions with an asterisk. Obviously, they aren't African
Mhm.
champions, but yeah, this is a good group. And then Iraq, they can be a tough out. At least, they have been in the past. But yeah, so I think 2-3
Mhm.
is a coin flip for me. But I'm
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dave. I think that, I've got It's France's groups to lose again. They just, led by Kylian Mbappe. They've got players like Kolomuani and Chouameni backing them up, being the playmakers. And so I think that France is gonna run away with this one. I picked Norway to come second. Like you mentioned, Erling Haaland is gonna be a force. It's nice to see him in the World Cup. I think that he's going to have enough support with the Norwegian national team to give him to give him some opportunities against all of his opponents. So that's why I think I picked them in second. But like you said, it is a coin flip. I picked Senegal in third. Uh, Second could this the game between Norway and Senegal is going to decide
Mhm.
who comes second in that group, because I
Yep.
think like you said, I think it's France's group, but the second is going to be either Norway or Senegal. And then you've got Iraq coming in last, coming in off of the Intercontinental playoffs and at the last minute. So, uh, congrats to them for making the World Cup. I just, they don't have the power behind them to be able to beat these teams, who all of whom have some pretty powerful players on them. So, uh,
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's my outlook on Group I, and then we're gonna go move into Chris's. We've got France coming in second, and he picked Iraq to come second. France came in first, and he picked Iraq
Wow.
to come second. That was
Mm.
bold. I mean,
Very
hats off to
bold.
you, Chris. That is very bold.
Very bold.
Senegal in third, and Norway coming last.
Wow. Mm.
That is wild. I mean, I would love to
That's
see
a
that happen. It'd be cool to see
mm.
Iraq make
We're
a run
going
at
to
it.
see some upsets in this World Cup, so it
Yeah,
certainly
we are. We
happening.
are.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Group J. This is our third to last group, everybody. So we've got Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. I think we're all going to agree that this first place was also pretty easy to pick, because Argentina was picked first by you, Tony, and then Austria coming in second,
Mm.
Algeria, and then Jordan coming last.
Pretty much I mean, chalk. I mean, if you look at it, Argentina's, what are they? Dave, are they like one of the top three teams that
They're,
could win the
I
whole
think
World
they're number
Cup? Aren't they
three.
like
they're
number three?
if I'm looking at DraftKings, but currently they're
Mhm.
they're number 5 behind France and Spain, England, Brazil, and then Argentina.
Oh
Okay.
wow, I
It's
didn't know they fell.
it's it's
But
Messi's last dance. So I mean, come on. I mean,
Yeah,
wouldn't it just be like the thing for him to go out on top and just torch
yeah.
his way through this whole World Cup and just say, I'm the man, I'm the greatest soccer player that ever lived?
the only thing I will say is Argentina has crashed out of the World Cup tw back in I think
Oh yeah,
2022. I mean,
I
a
know.
lot of big teams. It's and all these big group winners that we're predicting. A lot of them have crashed out in the group stage. It
Hmm.
can happen.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
other thing is when was the last time a team has won back-to-back World Cups? I think it was back in 58 and 62, if I remember correctly. I
It
don't
was Brazil, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to do. It just
It
really
is.
now certainly they have a strong squad, and even Messi, as old as he is, he's clearly still, he's not peak Messi, but he's still very, very good. So
Yeah, I mean, I think this is
Yeah,
going to be a group that they should dominate. Austria might give them a little
yeah,
trouble, but everybody else I think is yeah, fodder.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I agree. And Dave, you picked Argentina to win as well. We've got Algeria in second, and then Austria in third, and Jordan in last.
Yeah, I don't have
Why
too
Algeria over Austria?
Yeah, I don't have too much to add about this. Why? I don't have a really good answer. I think the only thing I'll say is this was one of the tougher groups for me to pick outside of the winner in Argentina. Obviously, I'm confident with that. Outside of Argentina, I just didn't know what to do in this group, honestly. So I think I flipped the coin three times basically to pick the two, three, and four. So to be quite frank.
Yeah. Well, I think it ended up pretty well because I made the same picks. Argentina to come first. I like you guys said, I don't think anybody's going to overtake Argentina in this group. Algeria, the closest team to them is Algeria, in my opinion, and they're pretty far away. So I think that it's going to be Argentina, and then it's going to be a coin flip between Austria and Algeria for that second spot. So Algeria, I picked them because they did. I think it was last World Cup where they made it into the round of 16. And they have the talent for it. Austria, they haven't been to a World Cup in a while, and I think they're gonna get jitters from it. So
Hmm.
you could say, I mean, I could see Austria making it through in second, but I just think
Oh,
Algeria, having had their recent experience in the World Cups, is that's gonna work to their advantage. And then of course Jordan bottoming out their first ever World Cup. It's not really. I don't think. I mean, I don't know a lot about Jordan, but I just think whatever power they have behind them, I think the other team has more. All right, and then we've got Chris also picking Argentina with Austria in second, Algeria in third, and Jordan in fourth. So there's your Group
Yeah.
J. Moving into Group K now, second to last group. Here is we go from Messi to Ronaldo, who is also making his
Hmm.
fifth World Cup,
Hmm.
probably
Hmm.
his last
six,
dance.
six World Cup.
Is it his sixth World Cup?
I
Wow,
believe
that's
so.
wild.
Yeah.
All right, and then so Tony, Colombia winning this one, and then you've
Yeah.
got Portugal coming second, Uzbekistan in third, and Congo in last.
Uh, what I'll say about this is really whoever's going to get first and second place is going to be whoever the winner is of the Portugal Colombia match, and it could be either team. I went with Colombia just because of James playing here for a
Mhm.
couple matches, you know.
Yeah.
But it's anybody. I mean, whoever wins that game between those two is going to be in first place. I think they're going to win the whole the whole table. So the group, I should say.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then Uzbekistan and DR Congo. I mean, again, teams I really haven't watched, so I don't know a lot about them, and yeah, they're what they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Dave, you picked Portugal to win it, and with Colombia coming in second, and then you have Congo coming in third, and Uzbekistan in last.
Yeah, I mean, this could the one and two I could see it going either way, but Portugal, Ronaldo's last dance, so to speak. There's some that say that Portugal would probably be better without Ronaldo. I don't know if I agree with that. I think just his presence is huge in this tournament, and he's still playing at a pretty good level, not nearly what he was, a couple cycles ago, but it's Portugal is a talented team even without Ronaldo. And then Colombia. We'll see. I mean, I think Rodriguez's stint with Minnesota probably helped him. I think he is in form. He's match fit now at this point. Hopefully, he doesn't have any other injury setbacks. But so I think those two are pretty clear for me. And then, quite frankly, I don't have a strong opinion on Congo or Uzbekistan. I just picked it that
Mhm.
way. So I don't need to go
Yeah.
into that too
Uh,
much.
yeah. I made the same picks as well. No, I actually picked Colombia to win over Portugal. I think Portugal's team is aging a little bit, but they do have talent. They have the talent to make it through in second. You've got Congo coming in third. I think that, and then you've got Uzbekistan. The reason I picked Congo over Uzbekistan is because Congo has some players from playing in some major European teams, and I looked at Uzbekistan's roster, and most of them play in Uzbekistan. So I think that based on the amount of competition that the players from Congo get over the ones that Uzbekistan get, I just think that the Congolese team is going to be more ready for the World Cup than Uzbekistan. And hats off to both of them. I think both of them, it's their first World Cup, but it's uh, it's Congo all the way over Uzbekistan. But yeah, it's a coin flip between one and two, and it's a coin flip between three and four. I like Colombia because they're young and they're exciting, and they looked great in qualifying. So uh, that's your that's your Group K, in my opinion. You've got Chris's picks. Portugal coming in first. I mean, that's always a solid pick. Portugal coming in first. You've got Colombia coming in second, with Congo coming in third, and Uzbekistan in last.
Hmm.
Um, it could be a storybook World Cup for Ronaldo. Messi's finally got his. Why not Ronaldo? You know?
Could be. Could be.
Yeah. And the last group, everybody. Oh, and there's no animation here. Okay, so
Oh.
everybody looks like every one of us picked England to win it
Hmm.
all, and then Tony, Panama in
Yeah,
second.
I did do
Wow,
Panama in second. Yeah, I went with Panama. I'm
awesome.
cool with them. I like Panama. I like
Yeah,
the Panama Canal.
there you
It's
go.
a cool
Well,
place.
they've given
You know?
USA fits over the last,
Yeah,
4 years
yeah,
or so.
That's true.
So,
they
They
have.
they could
That's true.
definitely they have the potential to be able to upset some of these teams, especially Croatia, who aren't what they used to be.
Hmm.
So it's I think it's possible. I think it's possible.
Yeah,
Dave, you're the only one who picked Ghana to not finish bottom of the group,
you
and
know,
you picked them over Panama.
I think this is just some of my USA bias going back about 16 years or so. I mean, Ghana's been a tough opponent, at least against the USA. And so anytime I see Ghana, it scares me a little bit. They're kind of maybe out of their golden age. And so maybe this is a little bit of a dated pick, to predict Ghana to do well. But I don't know. I can't forget that they've been a pretty solid team for the last 20 years or so, and so that's why I went with
Hmm.
Ghana third. Croatia, they've always been a tough out in the World Cup, it seems like. Luka
Yeah,
Modric, they've always been a tough team. And I England though, England number one. This was another group that for me, I didn't even have to think twice about this one. England's obviously another favorite to win the whole tournament, so yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I could see, 2 through 3. Again, it's another one of those groups that if my order is completely wrong, 2 through 3, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah.
hmm,
Yeah, and I agree. I think that, fun fact about England, they are the only team in European qualifying where to go through the entire qualifying stage without conceding a goal. So
yeah.
they had a plus 22 goal difference with 22 goals scored, and well, that number might be off actually, but they did not concede a single goal in qualifying. I think they're going to be real strong. They made Thomas Tuchel made some controversial picks for the roster. He didn't pick Phil Foden to be on the team, and he didn't pick Cole Palmer either
Mm,
to be on the team.
that was a shocker.
So yeah, there's a couple of shockers being left off the team there. But Thomas Tuchel, uh, a very good manager. He definitely knows what he's doing. So there's no reason to doubt him at this point.
Yeah.
He's got a great track record.
And I mean, even with those omissions, Connor, that you mentioned, I mean, England is still arguably one, if not the most talented team in this tournament from,
Yeah,
from 1 through 26. I mean, it's a super strong team this
yeah,
year and in the last couple of cycles, quite frankly.
yep. All right. Well, now we move into our third place picks. So, Tony, it looks like you had all of these were your third place picks: South Africa, Bosnia, Scotland. Well, I won't go through them all. So looks like you've got South Africa as one of them, with Scotland and Australia. You've got Japan, Senegal, Algeria, Uzbekistan, and Croatia coming through on your third place picks. Pretty solid picks, I think. I don't think in that combination, I don't think I would have picked any other combination.
I mean, it's tough when you talk about these third place games because I mean, third place, coming in, it's like, you kind of go through and you go, okay, there's teams that I think are going to go into the knockout rounds, and there's other teams that are like, well. Yeah, but now I got to select some other team. It's tough, man. It's not like a
Yeah,
normal thing where you have your top two teams go and that's that. You have to go in
yeah,
through and pick teams that place third, and frankly, that's tough.
yeah.
I could have picked any eight of these teams. I mean,
Yep.
seriously, I think anybody could. Crapshoot.
It is it is unprecedented, isn't it? Like this has never happened before in the World Cup, and
Mhm.
it's tough too because you have to think about what their results would be about who they're playing in their group, and it's not just about like who might be the better team, but it's Cape Verde could make it because they had Saudi Arabia in their group and they maybe had a good goal difference against them, and
Mhm.
Egypt against Iran, and so it's like you said, Tony. It really is a crapshoot. Dave,
Mhm.
we're moving into yours now. Looks like we've got Czechia, you've got Scotland, Turkey, you've got Japan, New Zealand, Norway, and Austria, and then Ghana as well.
Yeah. And yeah, this is tough. I mean, so basically, eight of the 12 third place finishes are going to advance. So, three-quarters of the teams obviously are going to advance. And
Mhm.
and quite frankly, this is going to come down to like probably in a lot of cases either the third or fourth tiebreaker because the first is points, obviously. Then you go by goal differential, then it's
Mhm.
goals scored, and then it comes down to your team conduct score. I think with the cards that were given, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to that conduct score, which is going to
Mhm.
ultimately make some of these predictions really, really tough. I feel strongest about probably. I would say Norway, Turkey A, sorry. Norway and Turkey A, I feel strongest about of my predictions. I feel
Mhm.
probably least strong about, I don't know, Chesnia. Um, you know, I yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. And the ones I didn't pick, like Congo and Saudi Arabia and Ivory Coast, I mean, I'll leave it at that. So again, super tough prediction, but
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And we'll go into my picks now.
this
I have
sorry, Connor, just sorry we'll get into yours, but the one thing I do like is if there is a slip up by you, whoever, whatever team you're rooting for, or obviously in my case, the USA, if the USA has a slip up in a game or two, you, there is still a chance to advance being one of the eight of the 12 best third
yeah.
teams. So I do like that. Hey, there's more matches to watch. I'm you can make a case whether you like the expanded 48 teams or not, but at least, on the upside, there is, more games to watch and a better chance for the team that you're rooting for to make it through. So,
Yeah, I agree. And it's I think that like you said, David, it kind of throws the teams a lifeline, isn't it? That does because they might make a play that or they might lose a game that is not necessarily a reflection of how great of a team they are. So
mhm.
that third place team gives them a chance to be able to go through to that knockout stage and show another chance to of how far they can get. So that's really, really great. I'll go through my third place picks where I've got Czechia, you've got Bosnia, Morocco, Paraguay, Ivory Coast, Sweden, Senegal, and Austria. Those are my
And
picks.
so who are you leaving out there? The flags, Saudi
We've got
Arabia.
Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Congo, and Panama. It looks like I'll be leaving out. So, yeah, I mean, again, it's based on who they're playing in the groups. I think that but all those teams will have a pretty strong group, uh, strong enough group showing to be able to get through to the round of 32. We'll move on to Chris's. Oh, Case. I forgot
Hmm.
I forgot to delete Case's slide. Shout out Case Godwin, everybody. I forgot to delete Case's slide. Here we go. Here's Chris's picks. Hmm. Um, we've got South Africa in as his. We've got Morocco, Japan, New Zealand, Saudi Arabia, Senegal, and Algeria, and Panama going through there. So there are his third round of 32 picks, and now here we go into what is really uh what is it where it gets really interesting here. Tony, here is your full round of 32. We've got Germany versus Australia, where you've got Germany.
Yep.
I think that's a good pick. You've
Pretty
got
easy.
France over Japan.
Oh
Sucks
yeah.
for Japan, I think, in my opinion, because Japan's a good team, but France is just better. I think
Oh yeah.
Japan deserves a chance to be able to play against a team that would get them a little further. They're obviously, I don't think they're winning the World Cup, but I think round of 32 doesn't necessarily reflect where Japan's talent is. So, but yeah, I think you're right with the France pick. South Korea and Canada. You've got Canada, another homer pick.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. You've got Netherlands and Morocco, where you've got the Netherlands, another solid
Netherlands.
pick, I
Yeah.
think. Yep. Portugal and Panama.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
Portugal. Yep.
Portugal on that one.
Yep. Spain and Austria, where we got Spain.
Another easy one. Spain. Yeah.
Yep. Another one. Paraguay and Senegal. Now, this one will be a tough one. I think these are two
Mhm.
pretty evenly matched teams. You picked
Mhm.
Paraguay, it
Yep.
looks like. You got Belgium and South Africa. Belgium, I think, is a pretty good pick there. Brazil and Sweden as well, and Brazil,
Yeah.
I think, also pretty solid. You get to this stage of the tournament. There's still some matches where you're gonna be
You
pretty
know,
pick the winner pretty easily.
yeah, you know what's interesting, Connor, and we'll get to it obviously in a little bit, but I mean, it really gets difficult. The round of 32, yeah, I guess it'd be the round of 16. I'm sorry. The next round is where things really start to get interesting, as you know,
Right.
compared to previous tournaments. So pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Ecuador and Norway, that'll be an interesting matchup too. Um, who'd you pick, Tony? I think did you pick Ecuador? Yeah, you picked
I
Ecuador.
did pick number. Yes, I did. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Mexico and Scotland. And I believe since Mexico won their group, they would still be in Mexico playing their game. So
Yep.
there you are, Mexico getting the win.
Mhm.
England and Uzbekistan. Yeah, I think it's pretty
Well,
easy, pretty easy
might be
for
a
England.
blowout.
Yeah, I think so. Argentina and Uruguay. Now
Mhm.
that could be an interesting matchup. I think
Oh
that,
yeah,
It
huge.
falls
South
that way.
American
That would be
rivalry.
awesome.
Hmm.
Could you imagine being at that match? Wow.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
could be crazy.
Yeah. South American rivalry. It's
Mhm.
that literally those that match could go either way. You picked Argentina. I think that's a
Uh,
solid pick.
Next
Yeah.
match is where I got a little cheeky.
I was gonna say I saw this and you picked New Zealand over the US.
What?
I did. I
What
did.
was
I
going
did.
through your
Yeah.
head,
Yeah, I
Tony?
gotta hear
Oh,
this.
well,
Wow.
I got a little cheeky on it. If US is gonna make it out of the group, they're gonna like someplace they're gonna stub their toe. And I was like, first round matchup against New Zealand with Boxy. Yeah, gonna
Well,
pick it
Yeah,
right there.
to be fair, it has been too long. It has been way too long since the USA has won a knockout match. That's for sure.
that's
20,
true.
2002.
2002.
Yeah.
2002, yeah.
I
When
was watching
And the
that.
they
I
fact,
was watching that in Wales against no, yeah, it was against Mexico, of course, but
yeah.
yeah.
and the fact of the matter is, if they have gotten out of this, I'm gonna say this already. If they had gotten past New Zealand in my bracket, they'd have played Argentina next. So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
okay, okay. That could happen?
Yeah.
No. So yeah, I got a
Yeah.
little cheeky. That's my deal. Yeah.
There you go. I mean, I'd love to see Boxy make it past the round of 32. That would be pretty cool. Switzerland and Algeria, I think that could be another pretty evenly matched game. Switzerland, I think that's a good pick as well to win that one. And Colombia and Croatia, another powerhouse match here. Who did you pick, Tony? I think you
Colombia
picked
on that
Colombia.
one.
You picked
Yeah,
Colombia, yeah.
yeah. Mm,
All right, and there's your round of 32 matchups, and then from there, Tony, we're gonna go right into your tree here. So you have Germany and
Oh.
France. This is where it starts getting
Yeah,
real
that's
interesting,
what I was
everybody.
saying. These round of
Yep.
16
Mhm.
matchups are crazy. Yeah, they really
Yeah,
Mhm.
they are.
I know.
Yeah, you've
It's
got
nuts, right?
Germany and France. Who did you pick? I think you picked Germany,
I
right?
picked Germany on that one. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I
wow,
I
that's
mean, I did pick Germany, and that's I got to. Johnny is going to be happy about that, but I picked
Yep.
Germany.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right. Well, Tony, you have your sheet up in front of you, right?
yeah. So the next one I had Canada versus Netherlands. I went, of course, with Netherlands on that one. Again, at Canada getting out of that 32 was good, but they're not going to make any farther than that. Um, and when they do get to this round, I think that DSC will be starting and he will come off his line and give up like 5 goals. So
Hmm.
that's going to happen. Um, Next one we have is Portugal versus Spain. That's going to be huge too. I mean, that's like I
Yeah.
got Portugal winning that one, but that's a big
Oh,
game,
wow, you've
huge
got
game.
a couple big. So you've got the
Mhm.
tournament favorites in France and Spain losing in the early in the knockout
I do.
stage.
I
That's
do.
significant
Wow.
upsets there.
That's because I'm placing some bets at the casino in Iowa, and I'll be
Well,
placing the. I'm just kidding.
I'm
I'm
Tony. You
just
notice
kidding.
I'm not laughing at you. I mean, these are
I
these
know. I know.
gapping. We're
No,
talking
yeah.
about two
Win some
very good
money.
teams. Yeah,
Win some money.
no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Uh, Paraguay and Belgium's up next, and I have Belgium winning that one. That's yeah, they're going to go forward. Brazil, Ecuador, another big matchup. Brazil is going to take that. Uh, England versus Mexico.
Mexico. I'm assuming it's Mexico.
It's
It'd be
in
played
Mexico
in
City.
Mexico.
Yep.
Okay.
Mexico City. So the huge match again. I got England going. I think England beats Mexico. So now all the hosts are all out. So all three hosts are gone.
Yep.
Next up, we have Argentina versus New Zealand, and Argentina is just going to wipe the floor with New Zealand. After, of course, New Zealand has a great match against the United States. And then finally, I think we have what is it, Switzerland versus Colombia. And again, I'm picking Colombia on this one. I'm going with Colombia.
Yep.
Uh, yeah. So this final this Elite Eight, or is it the last, or is it we down to four here? No, we're down to yeah, we got the Elite Eight coming up down to the final four here. Um, so Germany versus Netherlands. I picked Netherlands to go on this
Okay.
one. And next one, I had Portugal versus Belgium. I got Portugal going on this one. Brazil versus England. God, this would be a great matchup. I'm taking
Yeah, well,
England. Taking England. Had to do
nice.
it. And then Argentina versus Colombia. Again, a huge matchup, South American
Yeah.
matchup. I went Argentina. I went chalk on this one. And then let's see here. The finals. I got Portugal versus Netherlands. I have Portugal beating the Netherlands in that one. And then England versus Argentina. I've got Argentina going. And then I've
A
got
Ronaldo versus Messi final.
Woof.
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
That would be
And
fun.
I got and then for my third place game, I got England winning that one. And my final, I've got Argentina taking it.
There we go.
So there it is
Yeah.
right there.
Back
I
to
mean,
back for the first time since the 50s.
Tony, if your
Hmm.
predictions go well, that what a final that would be. Messi,
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Ronaldo's last stand. Oh, that would be so perfect. That would be wonderful.
Can you
FIFA.
can you imagine how much tickets would sell
Woo.
for that game? Oh,
Oh
that'd be
yeah.
so
It's a
expensive.
huge.
Oh man.
Do you imagine what kind of like boners the FIFA heads of FIFA would have for that match? They'd be like, "Oh my God." They would be
Right.
just
I might have
raking
to
the
pay
money.
Well, that
I might have to pay 10 grand to go to that match. I think it's in New York, right? The Meadowlands
Oh,
or
it'd
yeah,
be
it's
more.
in
I bet you it'd be more than
the
10 grand.
Meadowlands.
you think it'd be
It's in
more
Oh,
the
it'd be.
get-in
Oh
price would
yeah.
be more than 10
Oh
grand?
God, prices would be going for. Oh my God, it'd be
Yeah, think about it.
ridiculous. Oh.
Last stand, the two best players of the last 20 years going at it. The last stand for both of them, and
Hmm.
they're being it's the biggest stage in the world. Yeah, it's gonna be thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, but yeah, Messi takes it. I've always been a Messi over Ronaldo fan myself, but you know, Ronaldo is obviously a very talented player. But that you know what that kind of means actually is that in order for this to happen, the FIFA gods would need to hope that Portugal does not win their group in the end there.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
It has
Yeah.
to be. There's a specific way it has to be. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, that's my
All
stuff.
right. Well, Argentina for Tony. So Dave, here's
All right,
your round of 32.
let's go.
So looks like we've got Germany and Turkey. Dave, you've got your sheet up
I
in front
do,
of you
yeah.
too.
So
I'll
yeah.
let you guide it through it here.
Okay, so this one, I mean, again, we've seen Germany stumble in World Cups as, recently in the last couple cycles, but still, I'm going Germany here. Wouldn't be
All
shocked.
righty. Yeah. And
And then
yeah.
we've got, yeah, France and Japan. I'm pretty easily clicking on France to go there.
Yeah.
This is okay, so this is South Korea versus Canada. I don't know if I was feeling frisky when I made these predictions, but I went with South Korea. I don't know.
Mm.
I mean, Canada's got a couple superstars on their team, but I don't know. I think I was feeling frisky. Honestly, probably a coin flip pick for me, but we'll move on. Next one, Netherlands and Morocco. This is a good match, really, for the round of 32, but I'm going with Netherlands, my team, to beat Morocco. And then we move on to Colombia and Croatia. This was a tough one for me. I think I'm still just, thinking of years past and Luka Modric, so I'm going with Croatia in this one. Don't feel super
There you go.
confident in that, but that's where I'm going. Next up would be Spain and Algeria. Um, Spain, easy click for me there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we move on to the USA versus Austria. For me, not as easy in a click, but this is the USA's chance to advance in a tournament on home
Mhm.
soil, World Cup, against,
Mhm.
an Austria team that, is not the strongest. And this prediction is based on USA winning their group, okay, to set up this match. So I'm going to
Right.
stick with USA to win to advance, win their first
Yeah.
knockout, like I said, since 2002. And Belgium and Chechnya, this was a pretty easy pick for me with Belgium.
Yeah.
Brazil versus Sweden, not as easy of a first round knockout stage matchup for Brazil, but I'm picking Brazil. And then
Yeah.
Ecuador and Senegal. This is actually if it lines up this way, this is a really good match, but I'm going to stick with Senegal, who I was high on earlier. So I'll stick with
Mhm.
Senegal.
Wow. I
Yeah.
think I would have gone the other way on that
Yeah,
one.
no, and like I said,
Mhm.
this is a very good match. Ecuador is finished second in CONMEBOL qualification. They're a strong team. We'll see them in Kansas City on the 20th. I might, based on that match result, I might want to change my picks, but I'll go with Senegal here. And then we get to Mexico, Scotland. This one lined up this way for me with it being Mexico in Mexico City, we'll go Mexico. And then England and Norway, what a match. This would be a lot of fun. Erling Haaland versus, the England squad. I'm going with England though. Pretty
Hmm.
I picked that one fairly quickly. And yeah, this one lined up for me like Tony, I believe, Argentina and Uruguay. Again, another great match to watch, but I'm still going Argentina here.
Yep.
And then Paraguay versus Egypt. I had Egypt advancing, but I'm going to go with Paraguay.
All right.
Switzerland and New Zealand. I'll be certainly watching this match, assuming I'm around. But what did I? Yeah, Switzerland in this one over Michael Boxall, unfortunately. And
Mhm.
Portugal, Ghana. I went with Ronaldo and Portugal.
Yep.
Mhm. Nice.
Yeah. Solid picks. There you go. All
Mhm.
right. Into the round of 16 we go. Here's your round of 16.
Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. You start out round of 16, Germany, France. What a
Mhm.
game if it lines up this way. But
Huge.
I just think, I mean, Germany's on the up and up, but France is still so super talented. I have to pick France here.
Yep.
And Netherlands, South Korea. This was a little easier for me to pick. I'm going Netherlands as one of my favorite teams to watch. And then Spain and Croatia. I had Croatia getting this far, but easy click on Spain for me here. This is where things get interesting. USA versus Belgium. I can't remember where this match is played. Obviously, it's in the United States, though. And so this is revenge from 2014 knockout
Right.
stages, round of 16. It was the USA and Belgium. And obviously, Belgium won, but an unbelievable game from Tim Howard. Just,
Mhm.
USA could have won that one. I'm predicting USA. This is where I start to get a little homerish, but I am going with USA in that one. So that was kind of fun to pick that.
No, it's Tim Howard to make 16 saves this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
I think Brazil and Senegal, Senegal's run, as good as it's been, the way I'm predicting it, is over here with Brazil winning. And then Mexico and England, I went the same way Tony went. England's too strong. I
Mhm.
gotta knock Mexico out here.
Yeah.
Uh, And again, I'm kind of in agreement. Argentina's going to win and beat Paraguay in this round. And then finally, I have Portugal advancing as well over
So
Switzerland.
it's a Messi Ronaldo quarterfinal this
Yes.
time.
So a little
Yeah.
different
There we go.
prediction how it lines up, but hey, I'd still be, it'd be much more exciting if Tony's predictions come true, but at least in my prediction, we still get that matchup in the round of
Mhm.
16. So,
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
exciting. Still, I
or
mean,
I'm
still
sorry,
on
the
the
quarter.
world's biggest
Mhm.
stage.
Yeah. Yeah. So quarterfinal match, that would be great. Yeah. So these are really unbelievable quarterfinals. They really are. Look at that.
Mhm.
Look at the
Yeah.
teams. Just unbelievable. So this
Yeah.
is
Well, you
where
could
it gets really difficult, obviously, to
sorry,
pick.
Dave. You could play the one of these things is not like the other. One of these teams does not belong.
Yeah, and it might be USA. USA is not necessarily considered
Mm.
soccer, but they have that huge advantage of playing the games in home soil. So if it works
Mhm.
out this way, I sure hope it will. So
True.
we'll see how far I go on my United States run. But we'll start with France and Netherlands. As much as I like the Netherlands, France is too strong. So I have France winning. And here's where I couldn't possibly click the USA to beat a team like Spain. Now, this could happen. Wasn't this back in 2010? Wasn't this like the matchup out in South Africa ahead of the World Cup in
So I remember that it was the Confederations Cup
yes,
that
yeah.
year, actually, and US wasn't even supposed to get out of the group, but then they got to the semifinals and beat Spain that year. The
So
only that I think at the time was the only loss that Spain had in that 2 year span between the Euros and the World Cup was against the US.
oh yeah. Well, thanks for that, Connor. Well said. But I couldn't do it. I have to pick Spain. They're
Yeah.
just they have the better squad. There's just no doubt about it. Here,
Mhm.
this is where it gets really interesting for me, and you'll see that as we go on. Um, if I was going to flip-flop and update my spreadsheet throughout the next week or so before the tournament actually begins, this is the game that I have circled the most. I'm the most unsure about, but for this exercise, I did pick Brazil actually to beat England. I'm a little
All
worried about
right.
Gustavo's injury. Did not make the club, but Brazil still has a couple superstars and Vinny Jr. obviously. This is tough because I could easily see England winning that match, but for some reason I just kind of lean on Brazil for this one. And then finally, this would be a great matchup. Obviously, we talked about it. I have Argentina winning though, because I am Messi
There we go.
over Ronaldo myself as well.
All right.
And then even tougher predictions only get tougher, that's for sure. But I do have France beating Spain. Again, I'm not super confident. That's just the way I felt when I made these predictions, but obviously I could see that happening. And then this is, I mean, if it lines up this way, what a match this would be in the semifinals, a Brazil-Argentina semifinal. I mean, this would be a huge, massive matchup as well. Obviously, this would
Right.
be out of control, unbelievable scenario. And I just feel like for me, Brazil is due. So I'm picking Brazil.
All right.
And then
Awesome.
yeah, we went to we'll start. So you start with the third place matchup. If it lines up this way, I just feel like Spain's too talented. And I think I
Yeah.
picked Spain to win. Now for this, this is again, this is, I don't know. I don't know what I was kind of thinking. I will say that the last time that the World Cup was hosted by the United States, Brazil ended up winning. Maybe I was thinking that way, and so I picked Brazil to win.
All
Maybe,
right.
There you
maybe that's
go.
the only reason I picked Brazil, but
All right.
All right. Awesome. Well, Brazil, the champion for Dave. Here we go into my picks. I've got Germany and Paraguay in the first round. I think Germany takes that one pretty handily. France over Sweden, of course. I think France not only has the talent but the depth on the roster as well. No matter who's on the field, I think they can beat Sweden. South Korea and Canada, I've got Canada for that one. I think that on their home turf they can beat South Korea. Uh, Netherlands and Scotland, as much as I would love to see Scotland win this one, I have to go with the Netherlands. I think they're just too good. Portugal and Croatia. This one was a tough one for me. The two very strong teams over the past 10 years. I went with Croatia. I think Portugal goes out in the round of 32.
Wow.
Um, I think Croatia's just been too strong in the last couple World Cups to count them out. So
you're gonna
Croatia,
upset Eduardo Dox in the chat.
yeah.
He's predicting that Portugal is going all the way. So
Oh
Hmm.
no. Oh no.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, what can I say? What can I say? You got Spain and Algeria. Spain, easy pick for me. I've got USA and Bosnia. Yeah, I mean USA can get revenge on Bosnia for that Italy loss, Tony. I think that USA can beat Bosnia out of there.
I hope so. I hope so.
Um, yeah. So we got Belgium and Czechia. Belgium. I think under the leadership of Kevin De Bruyne, Belgium is still the the stronger side. Brazil and Japan. I would love to see Japan win this game, but I just can't see. I couldn't click on them. Brazil
Boy.
has just have. I mean, they just have too much talent. I don't think Brazil's winning the World Cup, but I think they're making
Mhm.
it past Japan. Ecuador, Norway. Norway. I think Erling Haaland
Mm.
has worked too hard to be knocked out in the round of 32. So they're moving forward. Mexico at home against Morocco. Oh man, I just realized just how tumultuous this matchup would be. It just the Cinderella story from Morocco 4 years ago, and then Mexico, of course, the hosts. I picked Mexico. I think that they'll have the crowd behind them, and they'll want to win a knockout match for the first time since 1990. So
Oof.
um, then you've got England and Senegal. Oops, England wins that one. Argentina over Uruguay. Yeah, I picked them. I picked that one too. I think that Argentina beats Uruguay. Then you've got Turkey and Iran. I picked Iran. I think that I mean it would be a storybook, wouldn't it? To be able to for Iran to be able to make it past the round of 32 in the US. So
Hmm.
that'd be pretty cool. Switzerland versus Austria, a kind of a middle Europe derby. I picked Switzerland. And then you've got Colombia and Ivory Coast as the last one. I picked Colombia. So here we go into the round of 16. Germany and France. I think all of us had that one
Yep.
for that pick. Um, I picked France again. I think their depth is just too big, and that no matter who's on the field, they can beat a team like Germany. I picked Netherlands over Canada again. I think Canada doesn't have the talent on the roster to be able to beat a powerhouse like the Netherlands. Croatia and Spain. Spain. I think that's where Croatia bottoms out, and Spain ends up earning that top five ranking that they always they've had for a while. U.S. and Belgium. You had a better opinion of the U.S. than I did, Dave. I picked
Um,
Belgium.
okay. I was gonna say our round of 16 lined up the same, but
Yeah, pretty
hey,
much.
quite frankly, if it goes your way, I wouldn't be shocked, obviously. So
Yeah. Brazil and Norway in there. Brazil. Right there. And then Mexico and England. I think we all had that one too. I picked England for that one too. I think that England is just too talented, and Thomas Tuchel knows what he's doing. Argentina and Iran. That's the only easy one I think that I had for the super easy one for this round. Iran bottoms out against Argentina, the reigning champs, and then Switzerland and Colombia. I've got Colombia going through
Oh.
on that one. Uh, so now we go into quarterfinals where we've got France and the Netherlands. I picked France for this one. That's gonna be a real exciting match though if that happens.
Mhm.
And again it's a border battle. They're border countries. So Spain and Belgium. Spain. I think that Belgium's,
see,
as you said, Dave, Belgium's golden generation is gone. They still have talent, but I think their time to win the World Cup has come and gone.
and this is where, with 32 teams making it to the knockout stage, this is where the predictions get crazy because like France and Spain, in a semifinal match, it could
Yeah.
happen, obviously,
Yeah.
the way
Mhm.
you're predicting, and that would just be nuts because you would expect, that to be a final in years past, but the way you've predicted
Yeah.
it certainly could be the case.
Yeah. And Brazil and England, again, another very exciting match. I picked England for this one. I think Brazil 20 years ago would have beat England, but not now. And Argentina and Colombia, I went out a little bit on a limb for this one, and I picked Colombia over Argentina.
Oh. Mm.
So James making a Minnesota Loon making the semifinals of the World Cup.
Mm.
And yes, he's a Minnesota Loon. Don't be trash talking my James. He's still technically under contract.
For what?
All right. We've got France and Spain in the semifinals. Another border battle. It's going to be a very heated matchup. I picked France for
So
that
we agree.
one.
Yeah, we agree there.
Yep, for sure. England and Colombia. This is where England will make their first final since 1966, and Colombia goes in there. And then Spain gets third place over Colombia. I will admit I was a bit of a homer with this one,
Wait. To be fair, England making their first final since their first World Cup final since 1966, right?
yes, yeah.
Yes.
Well, no, I guess it's their final. No,
The
you're right. You're right.
the Euros.
They've made Euro finals. No, you're right. How could I forget that?
There's a
I was a
great
bit of a homer
there's a
with
great documentary on Netflix that I watched a month or so back. What year was it that they made the final at Wimbledon, or it was it was at Wembley Stadium, and it was just a chaos. It was chaos. Who
hmm
did they play? Guess I cannot.
Was it Italy? I think it was Italy, wasn't it?
It
Yeah.
was Italy. Yes. If you have
Yeah.
not seen that documentary, yeah, it's on Netflix. It's crazy, crazy.
Yeah. Again, I was a bit of a homer with this one. Me having lived in England for all that many years, I had to pick them to win it all. I think that England's got it.
I mean,
Yeah.
So,
that's not a crazy prediction. It really isn't. Other than the fact that
yeah.
Connor, like you mentioned, they have not been to a World Cup final since the 60s. So, but
hmm
their squad is just so talented. I mean, I think France, Spain, England. I mean, those are obviously the favorites in the tournament. I could see any of those teams winning it, and so
Mhm.
Tony and I predicting I wouldn't even say dark horses. They're the sixth, seventh, eighth
Mhm.
favorite. With Argentina and Brazil. Any one of
Yep.
those teams fully capable of winning this tournament. So
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll move through Chris's picks pretty quickly here. We've got he's got Germany over Morocco, France over Japan, Canada over Czechia. You've got Netherlands over Haiti. That would be pretty cool.
Haiti.
Uh, Co we've got Colombia over Croatia. We've got Spain over Austria, the US over Algeria. That'd be pretty cool too. A little rematch from 2010. Belgium over South Africa. We've got Brazil over Sweden, Ecuador over Iraq. We've got Mexico over Saudi Arabia, England over Senegal, Argentina over Uruguay. He picked that one too. Paraguay over Egypt. You've got Switzerland over New Zealand and Portugal over Panama here. So
Mhm.
there's your third round of 32 picks there for Chris Kanan, Open time. And then we've got his tree here. Another Germany versus France to start off. And he's got France winning that one, and Canada and Netherlands following that one up, just like with ours. Netherlands wins
Mhm.
that one. Colombia and Spain up next, and he's got Spain winning that one, and then he's got the U.S. and Belgium. He's got Belgium winning against the U.S.
Oh.
Um,
I'm the only
Braz
one who has the U.S. getting to the
have
quarterfinals.
Yes.
don't lose that faith, Dave. We need
I
that
won't. I
here.
will not.
Brazil and Ecuador in the second round. That would be pretty cool to watch.
Mhm.
Brazil, he's got Brazil winning that one, and then he's got Mexico beating England in the round of
Wow.
16. So
Wow.
that's
Again,
pretty
though,
nuts.
on Mexican soil, I mean, it would be
Mhm.
considered a major failure for England, obviously, but
Mhm.
it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Obviously, it's a long shot, but
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not a. You're right. It's not out of the realms of possibilities, and I know that I'm pretty sure they're in Mexico City for that game, right? They would be. I think that's the round of 16 game.
It-
Um, so they'd be at the Estadio Azteca, wouldn't they?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, that place would be going crazy if
There'd be
Mexico won that
riots.
game.
There'd
Yeah,
be rioting in the
100.
streets.
There would. Argentina and Paraguay. He's got Argentina winning that one, and then Switzerland and Portugal. Another Ronaldo Messi quarterfinal.
Actually, let's back it up a little bit here. We just need to correct ourselves. So in the round of 16, there are in the round of 16, all of the yeah, oh, I guess it depends on how they fall because it would match 4 is played in Mexico City and match 8 is played in Vancouver and the rest of the matches are in USA. So
Right.
yeah, it could fall that way.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then, oh, sorry, my alarm. France and Netherlands in the quarterfinals. He's got France winning that one. Spain and Belgium. He's got Spain winning that one. I think we all picked that one pretty similarly, didn't we? Except Tony, you picked Germany, I think.
I did.
But Brazil and Mexico, Brazil winning that one. And then Argentina and Portugal, he's got Argentina winning that one. So it looks like most everybody's got Messi over Ronaldo
Mhm.
in this matchup here. He picked France over Spain, and he's got Argentina over Brazil.
I'm going to correct
Spain to win
myself
third
again.
place.
Sorry, I'm going to correct myself again. All quarterfinal matches are in the United States.
That's right. Yep. And
So,
that Argentina Portugal one, I believe, would be in Kansas City.
y
Yeah.
yeah, it would be. And because I think I get I'm looking at this and forgetting about the round of 32 prior to this round, the way you have your
Mhm.
graphic. So yeah, the
Mhm.
quarterfinals, those four matches will all be played in the United States. So
Right.
Brazil and Mexico, yeah, okay. All right.
Yep.
Mhm.
Got it.
Yep.
Uh, France versus Argentina. He's got France winning it all
Oh,
here,
there you go.
That would
which
not be a
so,
shocker.
yeah, solid pick. I mean,
Yep.
they would be my second pick, I think. I mean, I picked them in the
Mhm.
final against England. So yeah,
I think
um,
I think
yeah,
yeah, I think for me, I mean, I picked Brazil for this exercise, and I could easily flip flop. And I think, in my opinion, it's hard to argue with the odds-on favorites to win this, France, Spain, one and
right.
two. I get it, and then England right behind that. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, this very well could happen.
Hmm.
Well, here are your
Yeah, some
champions,
great picks.
everybody. Yeah, Tony picking Argentina. We got Brazil, we got England, and we got France. There are
Yep.
your champions. And just gonna give a quick shout out before we get off here. You can find Chris at El Pitmo Time here. Again, sorry that Chris couldn't be on with us tonight, but hope his kid feels better soon. You can find him at all of these handles on social media, or you can find him at thegrassguyshq.com. He also co-hosts another podcast, The Grass Guys. He is a lawn connoisseur, for lack of a better term. There, he's very good at his lawn. You should if you look at him on TikTok, you see photos of his lawn, and it is just immaculate. His podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast. So if you're looking for tips on how to make your lawn better, look it up. Look him up. He's got all of them. And we'll do one more shout outs here. Chris, during every year in October, I believe he has what's called Optober, where he raises money for Vranicure. It is a Minnesota-based nonprofit organization dedicated to advancing research for stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, a form of breast cancer responsible for the vast majority of breast cancer deaths, but which he receives a relatively small share of research funding. So Vranicure basically takes the proceeds that they make and they donate it specifically to NBC. 90+% of breast cancer deaths are NBC related deaths, and only 2.2 to 5% of funding goes to NBC. So it's very, very lopsided in that regard. So hats off to Chris for really making a stand. I know his wife was also diagnosed with breast cancer a couple of years ago, but she's all good now. She's all good. I think it's all gone now. So good to go. Congrats, Jane, on that one. And
Mhm.
yeah, Vranicure.
As
There we go.
somebody whose grandmother and aunt both had breast cancer and survived breast cancer, that's a good thing. Breast cancer awareness. Dave and I used to be in a flip cup tournament back in the day that raised money for breast cancer awareness, and we did that every year for like 10 years, Dave. So
Oh yeah.
that was always a big thing. So yeah, it's a good deal.
Yeah, awesome. And everybody, that wraps it up. Here we go.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's those are your World Cup predictions from us, and so yeah, glad you guys watched.
And just before we get out of here, wrapping this up, we will be on at some point in the next couple weeks talking about what's going on in the World Cup, talking about Dave and I and Johnny's adventure in Kansas City, because you're going to want to hear stories about what happened down there, especially late at night with Johnny asking him where he's at. Um, and then, of course, Connor, you'll be down there the following weekend to
Mhm.
watch. Which game are you watching again? Are you going to see?
We're gonna try to get into Austria and Algeria.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll hear about your story, about how your trip went and everything like that. It's going to be fun. The World Cup is every 4 years. I get excited. I'll be watching a lot of games. Probably watch some games over at Dave and Buster's. They've got a huge thing going on, and not really a shout out Dave and Buster's. They don't need a shout out, but shout out to our shout out to our bartender Frank, because I'm sure Dave and I will be in there every once in a while. We'll invite you, Connor, to see some to watch some matches. Um, Again, if anybody doesn't know, I'm sure if you listen to this podcast or watching right now, the Minneapolis is doing a whole, or actually the Loons are doing a whole big thing in downtown Minneapolis near Brits, with some watch parties outside of Brits, so you don't actually have to go into Brits to watch the game because some of those games are going to be like butt to butt. Any of the England games are going to be butt to butt inside.
It's gonna be
Watch it
nuts.
outside. It's
Yeah.
going to be nuts down there, but they're going to have it on Nicollet Mall next to PV Plaza. They're going to have some events going on, big screens to watch it, probably some, vendors and things, some, maybe kick some balls around and, whatever type of stuff. So, I mean, it's for the next 2 months, guys. This is it. This is the world is watching, and we're excited. I'm excited. Um, get to go see my first World Cup match ever. So do you, Dave? And I think Connor's this year for a first World Cup match as well.
Yeah. Yeah, will be.
Yes, so all of
Yeah, I
us will
mean,
be going to the
Yeah.
first World Cup matches. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, I saw a World Cup qualifying match in St. Paul back in early 2022, but
Oh boy. Yeah.
that
There you go.
this is on a whole nother level. Obviously, every 4 years for the last 20 or yeah,
hmm
25 years, 20 years at
hmm
least, I've been excited for the World Cup, but this is just this
hmm
the fact that it's on USA, home soil, USA, Canada,
hmm
Mexico is just it raises it up another notch, and World Cup fever is already here. So yeah, cannot wait.
it's huge, huge. Get excited. Don't let the noise get to you. There's gonna be noise. It's gonna be like, well, they're not selling tickets and this is this. Don't worry about that shit. Enjoy watching soccer. Enjoy watching these teams play. Um, I'll enjoy watching every team play because I can't watch my team Italy play. Um, and I'll be watching, USA. I'll be watching Germany. I'll be watching France. All the teams excited for. And it's great. God, I can't wait for this shit to kick off. Really, I can't. So, Connor, thanks again for putting this together for us. Connor put in a great amount of work putting this all together and getting this all set up. So, thanks to Connor for setting us all up. It's been great. Um, so, for myself, Tony, for Dave and Connor, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you guys in a couple weeks.
Go USA.
Go USA.
Mhm. Mhm.